Hey girl, you are now tuned into the Allow Yourself Grace podcast, the space where we get real, we get raw, and give ourselves permission to rise anyway. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen, and I'm here to walk with you through the moments that demand change, the seasons that force us to pivot, and the experiences that invite us to shift, not just our mindset, but our entire way of showing up in the world. This space is for anyone learning to release perfection, embrace the process, and find power in the pause. Because growth isn't always pretty, but it's always possible when you allow yourself grace. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's get into the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen, and we are still in our Winning Wives series. Y'all, today I have a special guest. She has her own podcast with her husband, and she also is, I don't know if you guys follow the Love and Truth podcast, but she is the co-host of the Love and Truth podcast. But during the week, she goes live alone on TikTok and she has some good hot topics. And so I am so happy to have her. I am going to let her introduce herself and let her give me some more of her credentials because I don't like to leave anything out. So y'all know every episode I like to let everybody introduce themselves, kind of let you know who they are, where they're from, and kind of what they're about. So let's get into it.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a
Listen,
long time coming,
it
but it's the
has.
perfect time.
It
So,
has. It has. Well, you introduced me so well, so thank you. I am Lanae Nelson, one of the co-hosts of the Love and Truth podcast, and actually, this is my partner anyway, who does all of my great work for me.
yes.
So I don't know for those who didn't know, honey, if you don't have a podcast studio or you do have one, you're not at the right one because this one over here, look at me.
Yes.
I gotta talk about
Come
it.
on,
I gotta
plug
talk
us.
about
I
it.
love it.
Yes, but yeah, I do my lives on TikTok Monday through Friday, and my husband and I do it on the weekends. We do Safe Space Saturday, um, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that's about it. I'm just a down to earth girl. I like to talk about things that other people don't talk about.
Yes, yes. And y'all know when I brought her on, I was like, oh, me and Lanae about to go viral today because she don't mind. Like me, we don't mind tussling with the girlies in the comments and the
No.
guys too, because sometimes the guys are in the comments with us because y'all disagree with us all the time and it's crazy. But we're going to get into it. So
Yeah.
today we're going to talk about not only being a wife, but being independent, but also learning how to be codependent
Yeah.
because those two, I believe, as a wife, have to kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
And sometimes when we've been single or we've been married before, because this is my second marriage as well that I'm in, and I know this is your second marriage.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to learn how to kind of shift our mindset depending on what our role was in that marriage or what our role was as a single person.
Right.
When I say that, I mean, as a single person, you could have been the type of single person who was like super independent, did everything, had your own place, had your own job, went out there, got it. Or you could have been in a marriage where you were still doing everything and felt like you were, you know what I'm
Alone.
saying, alone.
Alone.
Right?
Yeah.
And then now you move into a space where you're have an actual partner,
Right.
because this happens a lot.
Right.
And you have an actual partner, and it's like, man, I had to learn how to kind of balance my independence with my codependence.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what we're gonna get into today. But also, too, I want to ask you before we get into the topic.
Okay.
What is your definition of a winning wife? Like, what do you think that means? Like, when you hear that, like, what comes to mind?
A winning wife to me is when I hear it, it's almost like a man has won when he finds a woman that is totally surrendered and submitted to God. Because if she is, you get the best of everything that she has. Everything is all inclusive, like a resort, honey. Okay, like
We-
going on a resort.
Yes,
and
y'all
and
know
you
we
don't.
love
There is
that.
nothing that is not already in that package that you need. If you think about it, they have it.
Yeah.
And it, because it brings such a balance.
Yeah.
And what I've had to learn about being a winning wife is, if I'm winning with God, my husband's gonna win. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's that covering.
Yeah.
So when you're going into prayer and you're seeking God
Mm-hmm.
for things for you and him and your marriage, it's kind of like I've already won because
Correct.
I put it in his hands already, and I know
Mm-hmm.
that he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna he's gonna cultivate it. And guess what? It's gonna trickle down to my husband.
Correct.
And it's gonna trickle down to my kids and my household. So
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a great definition. So independence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as black women, we
Uh,
get labeled all the time as we're too independent, right?
yeah.
We're too outspoken.
Yeah.
You know, we need to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We're not submissive. Like we get all these titles. We get all these titles and all these things, and we see it. We
Yeah.
see it, and sometimes it gets under our skin,
Mm-hmm.
and then other times we're like, man, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. Like I'm married. My husband accepts me for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But God has really been tugging on me to share more
Mm-hmm.
about marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about this in a previous episode with some other wives. It's like it's hard to share though sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
if you come for me and mine, we coming back, right? We coming back. So it's kind of hard to share because it's like the jealousy factor is there sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And they may say it's not, but we know
that it
it's
is.
jealousy from single people. And it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, well, he ain't perfect or she
Yeah.
ain't perfect or she putting it out there. Now, I see you all the time. You display y'all's love. You have the reels. You know, you guys have the podcast together. You guys have Safe Space Saturday. You guys do all these things together. Why is it so important for you to display your love?
Because if it's not modeled, people, some people don't know what it looks like. Some people have never been loved, and they don't often know how to love.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes, if we haven't, I guess, sought out help,
Yeah.
right, from not being loved, we normalize not being loved, and it becomes self-abuse. And guess what? Then we get in a relationship with somebody that may know how to love, and guess what? We abuse them because we abuse ourselves. If it's not modeled, that's why I love, the Bible. Jesus models things for us. So if we don't have a model, sometimes we don't know how to do things. And until we maybe see it and come out of our environment and see somebody else, we don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm from a small country town, and I just remember, obviously the internet, I'm 52, but the internet wasn't around when I was younger, obviously. So I couldn't go and see different places. So my knowledge was small town until I was able to see, oh, there are really, a lot of great places of the world. It's all this food and all these things, until I saw it, because I had no idea. So I think that modeling love in front of people, and let me say this, because I think that this is the most important when it's for real, because the enemy gonna come and let you know that you're lying.
Yes.
He's gonna not. He's gonna call your bluff when it's not real, and this is the danger of, if it's real, display it. If you got issues going on, I'm not saying don't post it, but get that together, because people know. People know when things are real and when it's not.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
try to listen. You can pretend all day. You can lie to yourself all you want, but that lie gonna show up. Oh,
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
get
it's gonna
exposed.
crash and burn.
Yeah.
So it is important, and it's important because I finally found that place where this is what love is supposed to be. But I'm also say this: when I gave the Lord a true surrender, like, God, hey, I'm giving you a yes. And it was sponsored by tears and like this gut wrenching yes. My whole life changed. And, because sometimes we don't love ourselves. And it's sad, but we want other people to love us when we can't love us. That's wrong. So I just think it's good as a model. I know that was a long,
Yeah.
long story,
No,
but
that's good. And what you said at the ending is so key. It's like we don't know how to love ourselves.
yeah.
And so we don't know what to expect from people. And so when they try to do it, we don't even know what that looks like.
No.
So of course we're gonna bash it. We're gonna say, "Oh, it's not good enough." Like all the like, what are you doing? We're
Yeah.
gonna be hesitant about it.
Yeah.
Are you trying to hurt me? Like our guard goes up.
Up.
It goes up immediately.
Yes.
And especially when you are independent in a sense, because, and when I say independent, that means you can speak for yourself, you can
Right.
advocate for yourself.
Right.
Like you can go and do stuff for yourself outside of your husband. Like you can do that. And so it's kind of hard to allow him to step in sometimes to do that if your guard is all the
Always
way
up.
it's always up. So it's
Yeah.
like, how do I receive the love that he's trying to give me? I have to heal first. Like,
Well,
I have to do the work. And sometimes
it.
you don't realize that until you're in the marriage, right? And that's something that I noticed about myself is like, I have to reflect on my childhood trauma and say, like, am I bringing this over? Like the things that I said I didn't want to do, the things that the people and the places I didn't want to go, or the people I didn't want to be like,
Yeah.
am I bringing that over here?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to check yourself,
You do.
You really do. And we have to make that normal though, because I feel like from me hearing the single ladies talk, it's like they want to be married, they want the wedding, but I don't know if they're ready to do the work.
Right.
And I know you talk to both single and married women a lot. And so, do you find that there's more people who are actually independent? Like, just out there, like even when dating, like they're just, their mind is independent.
Yeah, I do, because after you've been single for so long and you've done it your way for so long, sometimes it's hard to break out of the mindset and then be interdependent, because you got your independence and your codependence when one or the other. But when you come together as a team, then it's interdependence.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you've been single for a long time, you don't know how to do that. And it's like, well, I'm selfish and I want it my way. There's stubbornness that's settled in. It's a lot of things that have settled in. And because, and I can say this, as Black women, we've been taught you need to be independent and you need to have certain strength. So much so that even when it's time for us to, we need to pray about something or we need to go to God about something. Well, I'm independent. I don't need God for that. I need him emergency purposes only.
Yep.
We take that same mindset, and then when we get in a relationship, then guess what we do? Well, no, I got it myself, because I don't need you to do this. If a man doesn't have anywhere that he can feel space in your life, he's gonna go to a woman that says that, hey, because men want to be needed.
Yep.
They need to be able to do something. That's what they're there for.
Yep.
They're the head. They're there to protect. They're there to provide. They're there to look, be a shoulder to lean on when you are crying. They're there to do a lot of. They have a lot of different things that they do. We're there to help them to be the best that they can be, and then we grow up together. We build together. And when you've been single for so long and you get in a space of selfishness, that's very hard to let go.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because we want to be loved, but then by your words you justify, by your words you condemn. You say one thing, right? But you're gonna have what you say, but in your mind it's like, no, I really want that love. Well, you can't have it because of the conflict.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
It's hard to
Good
do.
luck with that.
It's hard. And I think right now, I was watching something the other day and they're like, the black church is making black women single.
But you know
And
what?
I never really thought about it that way.
Until we start thinking
Until
about
I start thinking about it, because it's like sex is not talked about. In the black church, sex is like an obsolete thing. Like it's not even brought up. I grew up in
Right.
church my entire life. We didn't
Right.
talk about sex one time.
Right.
It was like a hidden bad secret.
Taboo.
It was like a taboo. I grew up in the country too, so it was just like we went to church
Right.
every week,
Right.
every Sunday. But the things that we need to navigate life,
Right.
we're not taught. Like
No.
we were taught the biblical principles, we were taught the church etiquette,
Yes.
we were taught all of those things, but how to navigate life, how to be a wife, how to prep yourself to become a wife, how to prepare for your husband,
Right.
how to do all the things was not talked about.
No.
And I don't
No.
know if you watch Bridgerton. Have you seen Bridgerton?
You
It
know
was a
what?
series
I
like a
I
long
saw,
time ago.
yeah, but I saw a couple of episodes.
It was the perfect depiction of how we grew up
Mhm.
because she was a virgin, of course.
Mhm.
She met this guy who he was outside. You know, he was
Yeah.
outside. He was sowing his royal oats, right?
Okay.
I forgot what
Okay.
they called him in there. But
Okay.
anyway, it was a perfect depiction because she was getting ready to get married, and
Mhm.
that's who she was marrying.
Okay.
So he had been, experienced. She had not. So she went to her mom and said, "Hey, how do I prepare? I don't know what to do. Like, it's going to be my wedding night. What do I do? How do I
Mhm.
prepare?" Her mom said, "Oh, you'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Just no
They'll
guidance.
teach you
Just no
like
guidance.
nothing." And so,
No wisdom.
yeah,
Just throw you
so
out there.
right, it just throw you out there. So there's a group of women who are saved, right?
Mhm.
They're not like outside. They're not in the club trying to find a man. They're really like going to church, seeking God for this man.
Mhm.
But who's teaching you how to prepare for that?
Ooh.
You know,
Yeah.
like nobody's
Yeah.
really teaching you. And so I
Yeah.
think this series that I'm doing is like
Needed.
it's needed because you guys that I'm bringing on, y'all are wives. Y'all are being successful at it. Y'all are happy in your marriage.
Mhm.
I think that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like you're happy, you're healthy, you're thriving. When you have
Mhm.
conflict, we know how to use conflict
Right.
resolution. We
Right.
know how to have our cool down moments, come back, talk about it before
Mhm.
we go to sleep. Like we're doing all the things. Cause
Mhm.
y'all, when they say marriage is work, it's work.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not in a
Yeah.
bad way, but it's
Yeah.
work. So I said all that to say, like, when you are, co hosting the Love and Truth podcast,
Mhm.
you're having these authentic conversations with your husband on camera. You're talking, you're being real. Y'all are giving people real analogies. Y'all are really getting in the trenches with people trying to do the work. Do
Mhm.
you think that, or do you know that God has placed that calling on your life?
Yeah, and I say that because of my upbringing. For me and James, I can say this: we had similar. We're both, um, we've had rejection, some abandonment issues
Mm-hmm.
that made us to be what we are today. So I can identify with people. You know what I'm saying? Even in relationships, and when words are spoken, it's like, well, hey, that person may feel rejected or abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And so James and I are both, we're people. We're good with people. We're very social. We listen. We're not judgmental. We're not critical. That helps with where we are as well. With that, we have so many similarities. We have different strengths, obviously, but all of what we've gone through has helped us. And obviously, God has said things to him about what his calling is. I've known what my calling is. And so I can honestly say when it's your purpose, it's made easy. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel like work. When I'm sitting down listening to people, it's just I'm listening. There's certain things I hear them say, certain things I can identify, and it makes it easy and it's enjoyable because I want to see people have great relationships. The truth of the matter is, individually, we've all had our share of a shabby life experience, a horrible Christian experience, because
Mm-hmm.
just for whatever reason,
Yeah.
when you can understand, or when you feel, because I feel like I've arrived somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm climbing, I'm elevating, because in God it's never stagnant, it's always growth. In life it should be that way. In your marriage it should be, whatever you're doing, it should be growth. And I want to see other people have that because I think we deserve that.
Yeah, I think we all deserve it. And I love how you guys, are so open and so transparent and you're willing to get in the trenches and do that work with people because I think we see enough of disingenuous people and the authenticity is definitely needed. Like
Yeah.
it's so needed because people need the real.
Right.
Kids need the real, women need the real, men need the real. Like they want to know like
Yeah.
this is a real person. This person understands. They're not judging me like you said. They're not trying to like just get my business and
Mhm.
put it out there or run with it or have something to talk about. It's kind of like, no, I want to help you identify the problem so that you can do the work and have a healthy relationship. So
Yeah.
I love that. And kudos to you for that, y'all.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank
that
you.
because I feel like you're passionate about it. Like I can
Thank you.
sense
I like it.
the passion when
Yeah.
you talk, when you speak, when you're dealing with people. Like you see the passion, you hear the passion, and so I just want to encourage you to keep doing
Well,
that
thank you.
because people need that. Like there's so many people that are hurting.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many women who want to be married. They've been in multiple failed relationships,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know how to be in a relationship. They don't thrive in relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think being vulnerable and being transparent with those people and helping them do the work can really help them get there
Right.
because like you said, everybody deserves it.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves to experience
Love.
love.
They no, you really, really do. Like, cause there's a whole love story written about Courtney and about
Mhm.
Lanae and everybody listening. That love story was about our Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Before we even got here, somebody really loved us. So the greatest sacrifice is love.
Yes.
And um when you can find the person that loves you in spite of, and I'm not saying you being a hellcat and giving them, you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
after a while you do too much of that, they're gonna be like, listen,
Mhm.
you know. But when people can, and that's something that I can say that James and I have done well with. He gave me that safe space to heal. And I wasn't, I'm not an attitude-ish woman. I'm not one, it's certain characteristics about myself. I'm a even keel. Just because something's going on with me, I'm not gonna take it out on Courtney because we're
Yeah.
at work. I'm not gonna take it out on James because we live together. I don't. I just
Mhm.
I train myself that way, and I don't often say I'm proud of myself about a lot of things, but I'm proud that I did that because people don't deserve because Lanae is going through something that I project that on
Yeah.
Courtney,
That's true.
right? Courtney's dealing with her own thing that she may just be about to jump off the edge. And so then I come in and I apply pressure to you just because I won't get myself taken care
Yeah.
of. So I just, I kind of went off course,
No, it's
but
okay.
but I think that as women that are out here and they really want love, I think first we have to sit back and say, why are my relationships not working? And it's easy to point outside, but it's never outside. This is going to always be the truth, and this is where the Bible comes. It comes to check your thoughts and your attitudes of your
Mhm.
heart. And when we read and we see where we are stubborn, we see where we're bitter, we see where we're resentful, we see where we're angry, all these things, right? And then you take that and you don't go to God and allow Him to do heart surgery, then you put that off on the person that you're with. And it's easy to say, oh, well, it's them, them, them. But because you don't see you,
Yeah.
right? Then now you got a bunch of failed relationships, and you're the problem and not recognizing that you're the problem.
Accountability.
That's it, and that's
Yeah.
all.
It's always missing. it's
That's it. That's
it's
all.
always missing, and it's a hard thing to do because I'm not gonna sit here like it's easy. Taking accountability is definitely one of the hardest things to do, but
Hmm.
once you do it,
Yeah.
you will reap the benefit.
Yes.
You will reap the benefit. I want to segue into you know, being an independent woman. So that is we're teaching our daughters, we're teaching our nieces, we're teaching them to have your own,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
How with along with teaching them to have their own, how do we prepare them for marriage? How do we teach them to still be able to stand on your own if you
Hmm.
have to,
Hmm.
but also be able to thrive and grow in a marriage once you meet that person that you feel is the person for you?
That's a good question, and I applaud y'all first of all for what you're doing because that's not what a lot of people do. Okay.
Right. I know.
First of all, so kudos to you guys for that. And then you include nieces. You see what I'm
True.
saying? Sometimes that's not. People on the outside. And what I mean by that, we just talk to our immediate
That's true.
family,
That's true.
extended nieces, nephews. We may not do that.
Yeah.
So I love that for y'all. But I think teaching about teamwork, I think, you know, books are always good. They're always good. And letting, teaching them, hey, you want to be independent, and that's great. But it's a partnership, you have to remember interdependence. Okay, so we have Legos here. Bobby has his Legos, Sue has her Legos,
Hmm.
right? We're building something together, but it's teamwork.
Yes.
You have your own here, I have my own, but let's build this together. And we can lean on each other and we can ask each other questions. But you remain and have your identity, and I have mine too.
Yeah.
But together, when we come together, we gotta be one. Because a house divided can't stand.
Can't
We
stand.
two can't walk together unless they agree. So, and I think that introducing books to people sometimes, especially young adults, sometimes, hey, here's a good book, because you got to be able to identify where they are in their life stage. Hey, they're ready for this. This is what you need. This is what you need. You know, um, and I always have to go back to this. Scripture is always good because it teaches us, just like, I was saying, can two walk together unless they agree? Just that one scripture. Hey, when you get into a relationship, if y'all not agreeing about anything, you can't walk together, and that's
Yeah.
going to be a divide.
Yeah.
And you want to always make sure that you're coming together to talk about a situation, and you walk away from the table agreeing.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with it, guess what? Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or if it's the wife, because this is what I believe, when you have a good leader, and that's what wives want to make sure. Well, I'm not following him because he's not leading. Well, you should have known that before you got with him. All these
Yes.
things to teach them, hey, you have to know what you want. Young men, you need to know, hey, if a young lady is telling you A, B, C, and D, identify, hey, she might have some trauma going on. That might not be what you want right now.
Yeah.
Trying to be Mr. Fix It, I'll fix it, I'll
Yeah.
fix it. No, no, no. No, no, no. Because some people, first of all, we can't fix them. And if you
Yeah.
don't know that that's God's assignment, the Holy Spirit does that, you'll be in for, oh my God.
Yes. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Yeah, and that just leads to don't get married for the sake of saying I'm married or I have a husband or I have a wife, because if you see signs of this person not being a leader, this person not taking care of their responsibilities, this person um, taking you through infidelity,
Yeah.
the aftermath of infidelity, all this stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
these are all things you should be looking for before you get married. We're not telling you to rush to get married,
No,
y'all,
absolutely
but we're
not.
telling you that when you do prepare to, okay, I have what I have. She gave the perfect analogy. You have what you have, but then we're building something together. And
Yeah.
it takes a team. Like, one person can't do it. We all bring
No.
something. In a marriage, both people are bringing something to the table. Like,
Correct.
it's not just one person. It
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be just one person.
Mm-hmm.
And are there going to be times where one person's carrying most of the weight? Of course.
Yeah.
That's life. Like, sometimes I'm probably at 20 and Lloyd is at 80.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, sometimes there's gonna be an uneven
Balance.
balance
Right.
of who's doing what, but be willing to do the work. And
Yeah.
the words "we are one" is so key, because
Mm-hmm.
we're why are we fighting against each other? We're together. And I think
Yeah.
single people, sometimes you guys spend a lot of time being combative,
Right.
and it makes it hard for
Mm-hmm.
you to get to the marriage point,
Mm-hmm.
because you stay in this mode. You
Right.
stay in, like, bumping heads, bumping heads, bumping heads. There's always some type of drama. Like, you just operate in
Yeah.
chaos.
And see, that's a lot. That's
Yes.
that and oh, that breeds honey. That breeds a whole ground for people just really living together and coming from being soulmates to cellmates.
Hmm.
And nobody wants that.
Nobody wants
Nobody
that.
wants that, because you know what, as women, the one thing that I know, we turn off, after, if anything's going on mental, down below turns off.
It turns
It
off.
turns off
It's
because we have unresolved issues. And the whole idea is to remain in that I'm in love with you state.
yes.
You don't want to just love somebody. No, I want to be in love with you.
Yeah.
Because just like chipping away at a tree, you keep chipping and chipping, it's going to fall over. And then after it falls over and it's not attached to the root anymore, something's dying. Something's dying. And speaking of something dying, let me say this. What people don't want to do in a relationship is die. In order for you to gain in the kingdom, you got to die. In order for you to gain in your marriage, you got to die. Anybody right now that has any type of meat in their refrigerator, something died. Okay? Something has to die. Okay? For you to be able to eat it and partake of it and get your nutrients from it. Okay, well, sometimes you got to die in a relationship.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to do that, if you know, hey, I'm not willing to compromise, and you already know that, don't to say that I'm gonna get married and I want to compromise. Hey, this is not fantasy land like that. This is real life, because what we don't take into account is if somebody gets sick. You see what I'm saying? And so when we talk about, oh no, I'm gonna go in a relationship and they got to do 100% of everything. Well, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
Because as you said, you may have 80, Lord has 20, vice versa. And then you just talk to each other. Hey, babe, what you got for right? Because you might want to, when James comes home, and then I'm gonna give you the baton.
Oh no, you
James
good.
comes home sometimes. I may have things I want to talk about, but I need to know his capacity.
Yeah.
Hey, where you at? I'm at 90. Okay, we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll let you do your thing, because if you don't have the capacity and somebody's dumping on you and dumping on you and dumping on you, and then you
You
can't,
snap.
yes, and then people are
Yeah.
like, and it's like, well, what's going on with you? Well, I mean,
It
because we
creates,
never
yeah,
asked.
and it creates something that didn't even have to be
Chaos.
if you would have just asked the
Ask the
question
question.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those tools. So those simple tools, I feel, single people need to start to develop
Right.
before they get into the marriage. And when she said die, that means die to yourself.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you have to die to your flesh,
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like there's men who come in here, they're married because I own a business, y'all know. They're married. They haven't died to their flesh. Like that's all stuff that has to happen before you get into a marriage in order for it to be healthy,
Right.
because like Lanae said, we sense those things. Women, we're very intuitive.
Right.
Where we have most of us, high discernment. We can kind of tell when something's off, when you ain't right. We
Yeah.
can tell.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want your marriage
Yes.
to thrive and you want to keep thriving as an individual, you have to do the work
The work.
before you get there.
Yeah.
And it's hard, y'all. It's not easy. We're all human, but it has to be done. So I think we're starting to see a lot of people who are rushing into marriage, and then it makes it look like marriages don't work.
And that's not
Marriage
the
ain't
truth.
it.
Yeah.
All y'all married people be lying. I heard that. I went to an event a couple weeks ago. It was all women, and we were playing this game, and they were asking these questions. So it was maybe like 4 or 5 of us who were married. Like, when I say like married, like you into
You're
your man
invested.
and
You're
he into
invested into
you.
your marriage.
You're invested. You're in it. So I met this other girl. It's crazy because we met right when we walked in. Come to find out, we have the same wedding anniversary.
Oh wow.
Like and so we were just chilling, talking on that. And so it was a question: would you rather spend more quality time with your best friend? Is that more important, or your spouse? And there was just us two on this side for that question, and everybody else was on this side.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she was like, I want to be with my man. And I was like, yeah, I'd rather be with my man.
Yeah.
So we were both, in that. But I think that's something that only married people get, like the people that are truly invested in their marriage.
That
Like
part.
we got it because we looked at each other like,
But that you said a key word.
Yeah.
Those that are you're actually invested.
You're
Because
invested.
here's the thing, women that are in a marriage and they're not happy in their marriage.
Yeah.
No, their answer will be, I'd rather be with my girls.
Yeah.
Because you feel more loved, you feel supported, you feel heard, you feel wanted by your girlfriends more than your spouse.
Yeah.
But see, before you get to that, and here's where, people say marriage don't work. The marriage is the union, but it's the
Yes.
two people that come together to make the marriage. So it's not the marriage. What's going on in you? What's
Yeah.
going on in them? Why do we have unresolved issues? Why can't we communicate? Why are we not doing the work? And when you don't want to, that's just like working out. Everybody wants to work out, and everybody, no, everybody wants to look good, but we don't want to do the
You
work to
don't want to
work
do the
out to
work.
look good.
That's true.
So this is why we have major filters, and we have all of these body
Yep.
contours. Let
Yeah.
me suck it in and tuck it in, baby, because I don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just the way it
Yep.
is. You know, people say, and I'm saying this because people say, "Oh, your body nobody's body shaming anybody." What
It's
people
the
want you to do,
truth.
we want you to get healthy
Yeah.
because that's tied to a lot of other things.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Diabetes,
saying?
high blood pressure.
All of that. That's all we're
Yeah.
saying. It's not the other things. And I just said that because sometimes I hear before it's even said, I hear people talking.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to go ahead and clarify.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's true. It is definitely true. Like the stuff we hear and see before you even see it and hear it is crazy.
Yes.
And you just have to have an intuition to know.
Yep.
And so there's a couple more questions and then we're gonna wrap it
Okay.
up.
Okay.
So wives, right?
Uh-huh.
We get like, oh, hey, you guys are gatekeeping. Y'all don't want to give out the secrets. How you stay married? How you get married? Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all gatekeeping. Y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't
Oh.
want to give us nothing.
That's what
How do
they
you feel?
saying?
That's what the girls are saying.
Oh wow. I didn't know. But okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what they're saying. And I mean, hmm, it got to be something like they looking for something. So it's
Yeah.
like, how do we shift? Start to shift because this
Mhm.
is going to be a process. How do we start to shift the single people's mindset about wives and becoming a wife? Because we're also having women who are settling now. They're saying, "Oh, I don't want to be married. Oh, marriage ain't all it's cracked up to be." We hear all this. It's not all
Yeah.
that.
I've heard
It's
that.
not this. But to me, that's settling in my mind. I feel like you're settling because you feel like, I'm not finding the right person, or
Yeah.
I keep going from relationship to relationship. I can't stay in a relationship. So guess what? I'm gonna just say, oh, I want to be single for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
I'm good where I'm at. I'm glad I'm single. I've been seeing this in comments all week. Like, I'm glad I'm single. That's why I'm single and safe over here.
Until you get sick. See,
So yeah, let's talk
so
about
first of
that.
all, what you're doing right now, your whole platform, this is because the podcast, it's to get in a pod and it's traveling and
Mm-hmm.
moving. So you're teaching us, and that's really great. So when we say how can we help, you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because them listening to this right now, you allowing your platform to give wisdom. But I say this, anytime you want to do better, what do people do? When you want to be more educated, what do? We go to school, we gain degrees, your associates, your bachelors, your masters. We want to do better, we get our doctorate. We invest in ourselves, and you know what? Sometimes that's money. And oftentimes I think that we want people to give us things free, and that's fine. But listen, sometimes you have to invest in yourself.
Yes. Yep.
My name is Lanae, and I'm your transformation coach. And if you
Period.
want, if you want to learn how to do this thing and find out, hey, how do I stay? Uh, my email address. Can I give them my
Drop it,
email
girl.
address?
Drop it. Drop it.
Is Lanae the life coach at gmail.com, and I will send you whatever information, because I think that it's easy for people to say when they've lost and they haven't succeeded in that area. See, that pain causes you to say, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's not really what you want. You really want companionship. God
Yes.
made it to be. That's why there was Adam, and then there was Eve, because God said it's not good for man to be alone. And then you know what the devil says? He makes stirs up all the chaos and confusion because we're not in alignment with God. And when you're not in alignment with God, that means you're over in enemy territory. When you're over in
Mm-hmm.
enemy territory, you get beat up so bad, and then you bruise, you're injured, and you're like, well, you know what? I don't want to do anything anymore. So after that,
Clock it.
you don't want to
So
come back over here and allow God to do what God needs to do, because it's going to cost you something.
woo.
See, it costs. All of this costs. Before you start building your house, you need to know the supplies you need. You need to know all of the, how much money is it gonna cost. You don't start anything until you know the cost of it.
Yeah.
Well, this may cost you having to get your heart fixed. And it's this. God, I know I'm stubborn. God, I have some bitterness going on. I have some jealousy going on. I have some envy going on.
Yeah.
Hey, my heart, I got some cancer going on in this heart, and I need you to fix it before I even think about being in a relationship. That's a man or a woman, because it would do a disservice for both of you guys. And this is the part right here, to want to get into a relationship with someone else knowing that you have a disability.
Whew.
Okay? So, and that's we don't want to do the work.
Yeah, we don't want to do the work. And that's in every area. And I think y'all, as single people, like Lanae said, you just have to be willing to invest. You have to know that it's going to cost you something. You have to die to yourself. You know, all the things that we said throughout this episode. I hope you guys were taking notes
Yes.
because, you know, all these things need to be done to prepare to get there. It's possible to have a healthy, thriving marriage and still be you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we don't ever want you to lose yourself.
Don't lose your
You know,
identity.
don't lose your identity, but just know that when you come together with someone, that you guys are building something together, because
Mm-hmm.
that's how God designed it to be.
Yes.
That's how he
Yeah.
wants it. That's
Yeah.
how he made it. And when
Yeah.
you truly get to experience it, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, and it's something that I want everyone to experience, but I also know that the ladies that I'm bringing on for this Winning Wives series, like, I'm strategic about who I'm bringing on, because I know that you guys have something to offer,
Mm-hmm.
and you have knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a passion for this and for your marriage and for your husband. I see the way that you cover your husband. I see the way that you speak to your husband. You talk to him. You interact with him. You're there helping him. And I think that, you know, more people need to see it. So I love
Yeah.
that you guys are, you know,
Thank you.
displaying it on your platform. If you guys are not following the Love and Truth podcast, make sure y'all go and subscribe. They are on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're on Instagram. Go find them, go subscribe. And if you need life coaching to prepare to become a healthy person, a healthy woman,
Mm-hmm.
please make sure that you hit Lanae up, right? She gave you guys her email address.
Yeah.
I'll have her stuff popping up on the screen. But I also too want to take time to say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge,
Yes.
and just being willing to be open and transparent
Mm-hmm.
with the girlies, because they have questions, you
Yeah.
know, and sometimes I don't have all the answers. So I want to make sure that I bring on people that can
Mm-hmm.
provide some insight that can help them, you know,
Mm-hmm.
navigate their situations. And my last question for you
Mm-hmm.
is, what would you leave for the ladies to make sure, like, this key gem that you have for them to make sure that they always remember when they're preparing to become a wife?
I definitely would say, how do you feel about yourself? That's very important. Are you loving you? Are you, is it, is it positive self-talk or is it negative self-talk? Um, have you done the work to where you are a whole individual? And what I mean by that, you don't need to be 100%, because we're not always going to be a hundred
Mm-hmm.
percent. But are you at least 70? Okay, that means something, because what you're going to magnetize is whatever that's in you.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes we can be fragmented and traumatized. Oftentimes we'll make a trauma bond with somebody. When we have a bad mindset, our mindset always attracts wherever we are.
Yeah.
But when you have done the work, and when you are, you know what, I think we all know what whole is, you know. When you've done the work, then say, you know what, I'm ready to go from one relationship to go into another relationship, because it's a rebound, because you don't want to feel the pain. I would say in every part of your life, feel the pain, feel whatever it is that you need to feel about what you've gone through, so that you can know what that is. So when you do get in a relationship, you're healed.
Yes.
You know, so I would definitely leave people with that.
I love that. I love that. And most importantly, guys, stay true to you. Like,
Yes.
stay true to who you are. It's easy to get caught up in social media. It's easy to follow the trends. It's
Mm-hmm.
easy to have people convince you to do stuff you don't want to do. But always remain true to who you are, and who you
Right.
are becoming, and you will always win. Like, God is going to always
Yes.
send you the right person, and that person can come in different ways. So don't be so closed-minded either. Be open-minded when it comes to dating, when it comes to putting yourself out there. Stay open-minded, because sometimes we go into things closed-minded. Oh, he's not 6'5". Oh, he's this and he's that. Like, y'all, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
then sometimes take a look in the mirror.
That's all.
Like, take a look in the mirror. Like, we're not perfect. So
Right.
I need us to shift our mindset from, I'm looking for, if he's not 6'5". Oh no.
Right.
I heard that the other day. So from a single lady, it's like, oh, if he's not 6'2" and up, I'm not dating him.
Oh. Okay.
So be open minded, y'all. Don't
Yes.
be so hard on the guys, because they actually do take it to heart, whether we want to believe it or not. Like, guys really do care, y'all. They care.
They do.
They just they're not gonna tell you, but they
Right.
care.
They
So
do.
be don't be so hard on the guys, y'all. Because then when they come for us, or y'all as women, like when
Yeah.
they come for y'all be like, oh yeah, they're disrespectful, they this and that. But so try to be soft,
That
try
would
to
be
be
good.
soft, try to be
That's a
gentle.
start.
Yeah, that's the start. Don't come out the gate swinging, sis. Calm down. Okay, so
Yeah.
just scale it back some. I'm not asking you to not be yourself, but just scale it back.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're gonna end it there, y'all. Y'all be nice out here, cause y'all be hard on the men.
Please and thank you. Please and thank
Y'all
you.
be hard on the men. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lanae. Y'all make sure y'all go
Absolutely.
follow her. Y'all go check in with her lives, because she is live daily on TikTok. Okay. So y'all can interact with her, ask questions. Also, don't forget to leave us comments below. We want to see the comments. We're going to be looking at the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time an episode drops. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
That's all, ladies. Thanks for tuning into another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. I'm so glad you took a little time today to grow, reflect, and give yourself the love you deserve. Remember, no matter what season you're in, you can change, you can pivot, and you can shift into the woman you're becoming with grace. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs a little reminder that she's not alone. Until next time, give yourself some grace, girl. You're doing better than you think.